What's poppin', gang? Welcome to another episode of Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
Hi, Tiffany.
This is a comic book review show where we took books in the past week, recap them, review them, tell you what we thought about them, and then recommend comics that are coming out this week that we think that you should check out. From usually the Marvel and DC, but we've got an indie expert here. Tiffany usually reads some kind of off-the-fringe type of comic.
I occasionally tip my toe in.
Yeah,
there.
you've been reading indie comics
but
for over a decade.
Yeah, I have.
At what point do we set up a parameter for expert versus casual?
No. I think expert is someone who reads exclusively it.
No,
which
I think that's called a connoisseur.
I can't do that. I've got to.
There just aren't enough.
Well, no, there's plenty.
Yeah, but if you only read exclusively
trust me, there's too many. That's the problem. That's what I found. There's just too many. Sometimes
that is a problem.
I don't know where to go.
You think that's an issue? Do you think that's actually like impeding or eating into the sales of like actual and other indie books?
I don't want to say yes because I feel like everybody has the right to have their book out there.
Right.
If you want to tell a story, you tell that story. That's what the independent market is for.
Yes.
That said, I do think it's hard to make yourself stand out or have a story that may be really strong stand out sometimes because everyone's too busy reading other things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But are those other things indie books?
Sometimes. Yeah. Hey, your phone's ringing.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I see that we're hanging around with what's popping.
Yeah,
that's
what's the one you like? Do you like a better one?
No, I'm just saying I noticed that's the one. That seems
I'm just doing it until someone calls me out on it.
I mean, I am.
Oh, okay. So you hate it?
I don't hate it.
I knew you did.
I don't hate it.
You hate it.
I don't hate it. No one hates it. It's not being hated upon.
Yeah. That's fair if you do.
So yeah,
anyway.
This is it. This is this is an interesting vibe for the show so far.
Yeah.
I don't hate that either.
No.
It's different.
Right?
We got a different lighting scheme going
on
here,
out.
So it's I don't know.
We used to have more.
We used to do this. We used to do something very similar to this.
So I thought, let's try that out.
Right?
Normally,
I love watching. I love these, but I want to build a wall.
A wall?
Yeah, I want to build like a background wall for you. But then you won't see those anymore, and that's such a nice little touch. So you want to see those.
We can always do another show with that.
I don't know.
Like Elseworlds can just be in front of the arcades, or GBU could be in front of the arcades.
Oh.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. About that.
Anyway,
hopefully no bugs. I totally forgot about that. Someone reminded me about that on stream.
Yes,
on my gaming
you forgot
stream.
about it.
I
but
completely
we didn't
forgot.
Kill it, and we did.
We did not kill it. Sal was going to suck it up in the vacuum, and I was like, "Could we not? Could we save it?" And then it turns out they're actually pests.
Yeah.
Our friend and bug expert and moderator let me know that it's okay to kill them.
Oh, really?
They're not great.
Oh, stink bugs.
I was like, he was there for too long. I had grown attached.
I see.
He had a backstory and a family. And it's several arcs going for
that you created for him.
Yeah, I'm sure he had some sort of villain.
Oh, no doubt.
To watch out for. It might have been us.
I think it was. This show, by the way, is sponsored by viewers like you.
Yes.
If you're watching the show live, you can sponsor today's show. Keep the actual sponsors out of here by being the sponsor yourself. Ask a question or comment in the super chats. We'll read it here on the show, and they'll be part of the show forever. Here's a couple of them before we get into the news and reviews on Off the Rack. Brian Rollins, what in the hell was Lazarus Planet? ComicPop rules. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
You're gonna have some obstacles here because somebody else in the chat said that they loved it. So. But yeah, what was it? We'll talk about it.
Well, maybe the question is less about that if it was good or bad. Maybe he just
what even was it?
Yeah,
I'll talk about that when we get there.
All right.
Jose Rivera, thanks for the birthday wishes last week. Well, glad you enjoyed it. And happy birthday. Hope you had a good one. It was good. I also picked up Gargoyles 3 and loved it. Just wish that we got more per issue.
I agree, and I can't tell if that's just they're shortchanging us or Weissman's writing style makes it feel like it's like fast paced or rapid, or I'm just used to having a episode.
Yeah, like a full story.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think folk who are trade waiting on this, I think you're going to be rewarded for it. I think you're going to have a more...
Yeah, you'll enjoy 45 minutes of story and then be upset because you waited an entire year and a half for a trade to come out.
Well, I was going to say you'll get 45 minutes of story and then hopefully you get more, but who knows? Because listen, I get trade waiters.
Right. Oh, yeah, I do.
But I'm enjoying it too much to not read it month to month.
Right, so. Exactly. And Riv Wilson, pop. Oh, magnitude, you're so funny. Anyway, so as far as part of the news and reviews, there wasn't anything particular. I mean, there's always something going on, and I really didn't want to get into any controversy or any craziness that's going on. I will say that the things are I was looking through social media recently, and I noticed that everything in it, like I was
Everything in it.
like I was going through Reddit, and then I jumped over to Twitter, and then I jumped over to TikTok, and I was looking through all of it, and I noticed that all of it had been pretty much designed like every two, like it was like 2 on 2 off, or no, 2 on 1 off, where it was like every 2 pieces of data, every 2 pieces of content was designed to get me upset. Like to get me really upset. It was usually,
well, I don't like that.
you know, like here's a councilwoman who is talking to a panel of idiots about like something very obvious that they shouldn't be idiots about, and watch her fail.
This is across the board on your social?
It's across the board.
That just has something to do with what you.
Well, exactly.
look
So I
at it,
realized
I
that,
think.
and I was like, all right. So I did not a purge, but I was like, all right, that's enough. So I just stopped looking at a lot of it.
Good.
Or I was very selective. Like I would, you know, if I came across it, I would just immediately like click off or move away from it. Reddit was tougher because Reddit is just like
You can't.
it is what you look
subreddits
at.
that you, yeah.
Well, I'm not subscribed to any subreddits except for
Oh.
one, and I am very, very close to unsubscribing to that one subreddit because I there's only so many threads with negative karma that you can see every morning that say, where should I start reading comics, before you go, this is not content. I have to stop. But yeah, it was just like, ugh, that's not news. Instead, Tiffany and I saw the trailer for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
How did this lead into this? I don't understand.
There's a new movie spearheaded by Seth Rogen himself, talking about making a Ninja Turtles movie, animated, of course, Mutant Mayhem. We saw the trailer. Tiffany, what are your initial thoughts on Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, the first teaser trailer or trailer, depending on what they call it?
You know, it looks like it's got a definite style to it. It's kind of neat, you know, trying to connect it, I guess, a little more with its origins in a way. Like it looks
more drawn.
It looks more like hand drawn versus 3D animated, which I love hand drawn animation just because you know how much. I mean, not that this doesn't take work, because this definitely takes work.
Yeah.
100%. This takes work to do 3D animation. I'm not trying to downplay that. This is a different type of work.
Yeah.
That hand drawn animation brings to the table. Obviously, you know, for me, Studio Ghibli, depending on how you want to say that, is like my bar. And so it's funny to see more 3D animation hedging more towards having different stylizations like animation ended up having.
Yes.
Like we're getting into that era of 3D animation where it's like, oh, wait, Into the Spider-Verse did well. Okay, let's start actually putting some stylization on these things. And I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
They're a lot younger in this than
they
I was
are,
anticipating. Yeah. I did jokingly say it's more like pre-teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
at all. They're the younger side of teens.
Very.
Which is fine, because it's like I've gotten so used to them being like, I'm like, we call them Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but you guys are like
more like mid-20s Ninja Turtles. More like late 30s Ninja Turtles.
Say like early 30s, late 20s, early 30s Ninja Turtles. So this is kind of fun. It almost feels like an Ultimate Universe kind of version.
Yeah.
Like, and by that I mean like taking them, getting rid of the baggage, starting fresh.
Yes.
You know, like taking Peter Parker, going, you're not married anymore, we're starting over.
Right.
You're younger than
you
ever.
were born in the 90s, or in today's world, the early 2000s.
Right, but you know what I mean? Like even Peter, when he was first like created, the way in which they showed him as like a young man, he seemed like an adult, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so to take these teenagers and actually give them a chance to be like kids,
children,
I'm like, okay, yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. That's why I automatically go to the Ultimate Universe, because Peter got to be younger.
Yes,
and like seem younger and have like that sort of interaction.
It's true. Yeah, well, I mean, and
even though I know it's not, like, this is just
in the comics, in the original comics, like he grew kind of almost in real time, so he was in college before you knew it.
Right.
And, Ultimate Peter got to spend his life in high school.
Right.
But yeah, this is I think they're building a franchise. They're trying to, but in a way where they're like, you know, the Turtles, it was obviously originally a comic book, and then became a media empire almost immediately, in which they were like, let's make a cartoon show. But the cartoon show in 87 was designed to be a toy commercial. Playmates obviously was the biggest powerhouse behind it.
Sure.
And so you if you watch enough of Secret Galaxy, you'll like know this mantra to be the case, which is of course that like every cartoon show from like 1979 to 1999 was designed to be a toy commercial. And so if the toys don't sell, then the show has no point and so cancel it or get rid of it. These are movies, so these things are designed sure to sell backpacks and toys and stuff like that, but primarily it's there to make money from a movie, like from going to the theater and seeing this thing. So I'm very excited because it means that if the movie grabs people and it is successful, then we can get more Ninja Turtles movies, and it has really little to do with the action figures, which I think have become kind of a niche market at this point. Like, I don't know how many children are rushing to their targets and A, buying any kind of action figure, and B, buying Ninja Turtles action figures.
Sure.
And I think that neither of those things is happening, and I doubt that a movie will do that. I think that this movie hopefully will grab everybody, but I also wonder if the days of making media as toy commercials has long passed us. So I don't know if like it's going to work the same way. So hopefully it's just a good movie and people go see the damn thing.
It's funny. I think a lot of it, especially for young children, and I'm just speaking what I see, is less about the making like, you know, the direct one for one, like, oh, I need this action figure of this guy, and more like selling the brand.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Like Bluey. Like it's all about Bluey. You gotta get all the Bluey based things, right? And make duck cakes and things.
No, yes.
That's nothing to do with the branding, but it does. Like that it's just that association. They see the name, the guy, the dog, and the whatever,
that's it.
I want that. It doesn't matter what it is.
Exactly. I am you know, every animated property over the last 15 to 20 years has been like, ladies and gentlemen, look at all of these celebrities who debase themselves into being in a cartoon movie. Name. And that's how they market these movies. But who cares? What I'm excited about is that Jeff Rowe and Kyler Spears are directing this movie, and their names are associated with movies like The Mitchells vs. the Machines.
Yeah.
And shows like Gravity Falls.
Yay!
And that both Rowe and Spears wrote for, well, Rowe wrote for Gravity Falls and We Are the Machines, whereas Spears worked on the art department for Mitchell vs. the Machines, Axe Cop, and other animated properties. So, like, number one, Spears knows animation, and modern animation. Great, good call.
Yeah.
Rowe knows story structure and quality. Hooray!
Yeah. I wonder which episodes he was.
He's written 11 episodes for Gravity Falls, Scarioki, The Golf
War,
Blendin's Game.
Sorry,
Are you
they
kidding
had me at Blendin's Game. I skipped ahead. I was like, all right, yep.
Oh, The Stanturian Candidate, Roadside Attraction, Dipper and Mabel versus the Future, Weird Mageddon, parts 1 and 2.
That's excellent.
Yeah, and part 3. So yeah,
no, but have it Blendin's Game. Yes.
Blendin's Game done. Okay, great. But creatively, if you haven't already watched Gravity Falls, Tiffany will tell you got to watch Gravity Falls.
Please watch Gravity.
But don't
Falls.
start with this episode 1. Start with that.
Skip episode 1. Just go to episode 2.
Yeah, just go to episode 2 and then watch episode 1
later
last.
on. Trust me, it's a way cooler experience.
It is. It was a really fun experience. It's very similar to Venture Brothers. Watch Tag Sale You're It and then watch the rest.
Yes.
But so I'm excited about this. You know, there's a couple of names you'd expect. I mean, like the fact that Giancarlo Esposito is playing Baxter Stockman. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, it's fun, and I'm here for it. I'm okay with it. Seth Rogen is Bebop. John Cena is Rocksteady. Sure, okay, whatever. You know,
Seth Rogen's like, if he wants to do this, if
he's working on it, he's producing this damn thing, then he's going to be in it. It's not
sense.
like they're not going to put him in it. But Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko, that blows my mind. I'm like, is he going to? Yeah, he's very unassuming. He's very mild-mannered. Is he going to really like go for it? Is he going to make it? Is he going to sound like a skater?
Maybe they're going to do something different.
I don't know. I mean, I have to assume Jackie Chan is Master Splinter.
Okay.
I mean, like, it depends on what we're doing here. You know, like, I mean, Splinter, you know, he embraced / came from Japanese culture. Having a Chinese person do that, yeah, okay, weird, but fine. You know, not blowing my mind. I don't care. You know, like, I'm not like, oh my God, they finally got these people that I like know from other things to be in it.
Right.
Like, you know, I Tiffany and I grew up under the era of voice actors in animation, where it was like, oh my God, we never saw Tara Strong's face until like the 2000s.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what Kevin Conroy looked like until, you know, we did an interview one time in the 2000s. You know, like, we don't need celebrities to play everybody for us to be in on it. And that's, of course, very much embraced by casting the turtles themselves.
Right.
Getting these on. I mean, now, because clearly they are children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, almost can't help but cast unknowns because of how young they are.
Yeah.
But it's great that they are children and that they are unknowns, so you have no preconceived ideas. I think if you were just like, get 4 of them stranger kids to play the turtles, whichever one, just 4
Are
of
you
them.
being a Hollywood?
That's right. Yes, it's to do the get the Lucas and the Wolfhard and the one with no teeth. That one. That's 3. And I don't know, the gay one.
God.
By the way, I think Will canonically is gay, so it's not. But yeah, I'm glad they're not doing that.
That hurts because that is
exactly how those
that is a conversation that may or may not have happened in Hollywood at some point.
Exactly.
Just
yeah, boom, Hollywood, eat it. We're coming for you. But yeah, no. So, but I'm excited for them playing these, and you got to hear them, interacting. It sounds like they were like in one of the like they were all in one room.
Yeah,
like it has a like the Batman kind of quality to it, where it's like a radio play.
Yeah, or they're actually getting to act off of one another instead of like
just being in a cold room.
just reading the lines and
like in Kanto where they were all like COVID restricted and
that's
they had
different.
To do it in
you had to do the best you could in that situation.
That's
now that like
but we're working
if
on
you're
it.
able to not do that, hooray! That's nice to be able to actually have them in a room and working together
exactly
to form that camaraderie because you can feel the difference.
Oh, you can,
especially if they're not trained voice actors.
Totally,
that is the difference there.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it sucks that there are a lot of really amazing voice actors out there, and a lot of times they get passed over for a celebrity.
Right? Because it's like, well, how am I going to sell this thing if I don't have,
and yet,
a list of names of people like Maya Rudolph, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. She's going to be in one of my favorite animated properties. You remember her from Saturday Night Live from 45 years ago. Like, cool. I don't actually know. I don't think she's in this, but I'm just picking like a name.
No, she is. You saw her name. That's why you said it. She's right there.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. But why? And it just sounds like you're playing Pokemon at this point. Like, look at all these names I've collected in my one thing. It's so disappointing. But this movie is not, or at least the trailer isn't. Like, clearly inspired. I think that one of the good influences of Into the Spider-Verse, besides the fact that it's one of the best Spider-Man movies ever made, is they went, doesn't have to look like Frozen. You can make other things.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're moving away from that like one type of look.
Yeah.
Where everyone's trying to get that specific either like Pixar-y look or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
but we wouldn't have gotten Mitchell vs. the Machines as well. Because that's also like make it look like the Steven Universe and the Gravity Falls. What's that called?
The CalArts style?
Yeah, that's it. Make a movie in that style.
Yeah, but that in and of itself, like, there's a whole other conversation there about the CalArts style and how a lot of people are saying that it ruins animation because
Thundercats Roar was an example of like that being heavily influenced by it.
Yeah,
and people being very unreceptive to it.
Yeah, but inevitably, like even in its intent of trying to look different, it is also trying to be like something else as well. And that's just the sake of art being made for a business reason.
Well, and and it's eras, like there are a lot of shows look like one particular type of show from the era they came.
But a lot of it has to do with studios going like, I want one of those.
Well, that's true. Just Me Too, but also especially I was going to use the example of like the 80s and like those cartoons that all kind of look the same. And I'm like, there were 3 studios.
Oh yeah,
it's like, it's a Filmation cartoon. Well, I know it's going to look like.
But at the very least, this does have like its own feel. Like the world, it doesn't feel like it's
no, it doesn't look like a cookie cutter.
It doesn't look like it's Into the Spider-Verse just over here.
No,
it looks like it's
a blend.
We're doing our own thing. We are going to take a few like tactics from that, bring it here, but like really try to make it our own.
Yes,
try to build off of that.
Any speculation about this you want to just launch into? I know
speculation.
You're not. Yeah, like I think there's going to be almost, if any, it'll be a post-credit scene, but no Shredder. It's all going to be just mutants.
Interesting.
Because here's the thing. I was thinking about this when I was watching this trailer.
Shredder? Are you going to do Bebop and Rocksteady with no Shredder?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if he's not cast.
He's not in the list, but like I'm sure they're hanging on to him. I have no doubt he will either be in it or be in a post-credit scene. I don't want to spoil about it, but I'm just saying I'm thinking that. But we're getting Mutagen, we're getting Ultrams, we're getting mutants. And Ultrams, by the way, are Krangs, by the way. But so I mean, like, we're gonna get this. And I was just thinking about, like, when I was watching the turtles interacting with each other like they were children, I was like, boy, if Shredder showed up, it would scare the hell out of them. like seeing these kids fight Shredder is actually scary and interesting. Like that's actually interesting, and it would be more fun, I think, to watch them build to Shredder, where it's like they go through some fights and really you can also play with like the high flying ridiculousness of the Turtles lore, and also then go like, hey, chapter 2 or 3 is going to be Shredder,
right?
It's like something really personal and intimate. That'd be kind of cool. So that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
But I don't have any other theories I over this children's animated movie, but I am excited about it because it looks good. Like it just looks like a good idea.
Yeah,
you know,
it
I
does.
am done with Donatello wearing glasses. You know, but that being said, you know, but
that's it forever. He will have worn glasses longer than he'll have not worn them eventually.
No, Donatello is known for like having a diastema, for having nearsightedness.
He doesn't have that there.
He doesn't have it in this, and I really appreciate that they went with that.
They are doing the different masks though. I know
different like style of masks.
Different style of masks.
Yeah,
like it's not just the different colors. They and I've seen that several times.
Yes,
we've seen that throughout.
So they seem to like this whole like cover Raph's head thing, and you know, it's very.
You know what it is? It's just so funny to think about how like their origins had you couldn't tell them apart.
Yes, they've gone really in the other direction.
And like what that says about what people and what kids want. Like they want to, you know, they want to have their favorite. You know, it's like why are there so many Sailor Scouts?
Right. Well,
because she wanted friends. But
no.
So sweet.
But
all
also
those girls are whoever she wanted to be friends with.
No.
But it also represents different personalities.
Exactly.
You get your favorite, and like there is like a marketing value to that as well.
Exactly. Yeah, I forgot to mention Mikey has braces, so it's like, you know,
he does.
Yes, but those are and why does he have braces? So that he can look like the youngest one.
How does he get them?
Maybe there's a mutagenic dentist.
Orthodontist.
Yes.
You don't just go to the dentist. You need to go to the orthodontist. You have to have a specialist.
If you can master ninjutsu, you can master dentistry, I'm sure. Not to insult our, you know, orthodontist fans out there. I think, you know. Anyway,
I don't know.
But I'm looking forward to it. I'm hearing good things, you know, and that's always good.
Like, I like hearing good things.
You know, it's nice that like overwhelmingly from what I've noticed, it hasn't been met with universal revulsion.
Okay.
As is the case with most things. So that's nice.
Yeah, I guess Donatello might have tried to do it.
Yeah, Donnie could have done it.
That's such a maybe I would love a short of that. Like if this takes off, or they just do a little like
stay still, Mikey. I'm trying to do this.
Yeah. Do you know what you're doing?
I watched a YouTube tutorial on how to install braces. That's okay with me. I'm very okay with that.
That's kind of cute.
Yeah, right?
Now that I'm thinking that one through.
Jumping into our super chats really quick, just to make sure that our sponsors are heard.
Yes.
Hayden Hamilton, would you ever try stand-up? Who are your faves? Nope. It's scary and intimidating and everything, but I have nothing but respect for them. I do a lot of I like a lot of stand-up comedians, and I revere them. Like I'm a big fan of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee because it is so like insightful and interesting. And like I don't know if I would ever want to meet Jerry Seinfeld, nor do I think he is an especially good person, but I think he's a brilliant comedian, and he respects the craft, and he has like a really interesting insight into it, and I welcome it because he has like if he has no respect for anything, it's only for comedy and for the craft. And obviously Patton Oswalt's one of my favorite comedians as well, which I tried very hard not to make apparent when he was on the show because I didn't want to be like, no.
Good for you.
You know, and there's so many more. You know, George Carlin was a big one for me as a kid, and you know, and there are recent ones as well. I know that Taylor Tomlinson.
I love Taylor Tomlinson.
She is funny AF. She's just and like she has the wisdom of like a 70-year-old person.
Yeah.
And she's like, I think 30.
No, she's in her 20s.
I think she was I thought she was pushing 30, or she's almost 30.
I thought she was in her mid to late 20s.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
In any case, she's an old soul, but she's got it. Like she's got the knack. Conan isn't really a stand-up comedian, but like he's funny as hell. Any other stand-up comedians for you that like really stand out for you?
No.
There's so many for me.
It's not like I don't like comedy. It's just I don't.
No, it's fair. Tom Papa is so funny. I love him so much. He's great.
Which one's that? Is he the werewolves guy?
Werewolves?
Okay, never mind.
No,
Okay,
not,
you
he's
know
not the
what I'm
werewolf
talking
guy.
about. Don't
No,
leave me
he's not
over
even one of my
here.
favorite comedians. He's just funny as that
Okay.
guy was like, we're turning into werewolves.
Yeah, that.
No, Tom Pop is an older guy. He was
Okay.
yeah, he's really good.
You like what's his name too? Mulaney?
Oh, John Mulaney?
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, he's great. Yeah. He's again not a great guy. but
Okay.
a very
I don't know
funny
anything
person.
about him.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
But yeah, he's not a monster. He's just not a great guy.
He's not a nice person.
As I understand it, it's he's a very volatile person to know.
Hmm.
But he's for a while I was like, this guy speaks like so directly to like a generation of people.
Cool.
So yeah, I forgot about John Mulaney. Damn, I haven't heard his stand up in a long time. So I'm like, you know what? When you drop off after a while. So many. I could talk about this for hours, and I'm not going to. Damn 900. I don't know a single person who read Lazarus Planet and it was coming out, but I have no idea what happened. I only read the first issue. That's a lot of people. We're going to talk about that. I promise you. That's kind of an issue. He also mentions Human Target 12 is easily the best issue this week. Yeah, I'd say probably. Charzy from the ComicPop Mephisto voice. Hello to my favorite YouTube couple. Thank you very much, Charzy. Hello. Have you seen the new TMNT trailer? Thoughts? Personally, I am intrigued as Rogan has earned my goodwill from The Boys and Invincible. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's right. I forgot that like Rogan was involved in the Preacher revival on The Boys, on Invincible. Like, so basically whatever Seth Rogen read when he was 15, he's going to be involved with.
And he's trying.
I wish I had that kind of influence. Man, you'd see a lot more the Max. John Ty, what superhero romance stories don't shaft one partner's development over another? I mean, the Fantastic Four that rarely do, like, it's mostly about Stu and Reed working together. For that matter, well, no. I was gonna say Ben and Alicia, but kind of not real. Well, I mean, lately, yeah.
I think it's difficult.
Yeah.
To unless the person writing the book is really competent at writing two characters at the same time, and one character isn't clearly the standout character.
Yeah.
Like if you're reading a Batman book or a Spider-Man book or a Captain America book, like you're there to read the character whose name is on the cover.
Yes.
So oftentimes it's hard. Fantastic Four is an interesting opportunity, but let's be honest, like I don't know. Because I don't read it, like I just have in my head the way that Reed and Sue interact, and it's just not a relationship I want to be a part of.
No, that's fair. Yeah. Denial says, between Lazarus Planet and Dark Crisis and Death Metal, am I a fool for not getting excited for DC events anymore? I feel like they don't know what to do. I think they're burning you out, my friend, because that's what they're doing. They're burning away good faith and goodwill, and they're taking advantage of the market. They're taking advantage of their readership. They're not taking advantage of the market. They're trying to take advantage of the market at the expense of the reader.
Yeah.
Like this year would have been a good idea for DC to not do any events anymore. And instead, Nightmares is coming out very soon.
Oh, but by the way, non-superhero one. That's the only thing I come up with. Non-superhero one. I was like, "That's you asked."
Marco and Alana.
Marco and Alana. Yeah. I couldn't come up with anything other than
because that book is about relationships. Like it's about being. Yeah,
it's still a comic book though.
Yeah, right. Wapudo, first time I've been able to catch live. Here's a couple bucks to keep the lights on, so to speak. Thank you very much, Wapudo. Yes, so to speak. We're having some of the lights are on.
Yes,
but we're trying to. We're doing
different vibes.
It's deliberate. First time in a while to catch you live. Yeah, you said that. And Vance Lindsley. Hey, ComicPop. I started my first week at a comic shop, and my first sale was the Judgment Day trade. The guy hadn't read comics since the 90s. Nice. That should be fine. They should be okay. They're gonna be confused. But X-Men, but maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe
I hope they like it. Find out.
Listen, let me know because that'll be interesting for them to dive into that.
Yeah, that'll be their introduction to all of that. Yeah,
I've read since the 90s, so you got to catch a little bit up on it. What's going on with Eternals?
Barely.
Yeah, definitely need to know a couple of things that are going to be.
Yes, but only within the past 2 years.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And then everything that's happened with the X-Men.
Yeah, which really you could skip from the 90s until Hawks and Pox.
Well, yeah, but that's still Hawks and Pox is a lot.
Yeah. Charzy says, oh, never mind. You guys talked about it. Here's some money. Thank you very much, Charzy. Appreciate it, man. And Lee Allen, Sal, you mentioned how Spider-Man's been written like a jerk before, like he's been currently. What made me think about how unnatural that feels?
Hang on, there's more to that comment.
All he's been through, it doesn't feel like he's lived through his history anymore. I find it hard to imagine he's the same dude from the early 2000s. Yeah, no, he's a completely different character at this point. And yeah, they don't. It's very rare that a writer who's working on anything even remembers that crap. And if they do, they've already like tread that ground. Like Dan Slott will occasionally just be like, I want to talk about the thing that makes him eternal, or makes people like him, or makes people understand who he is culturally speaking. And he's done everything. Like he's had that character say out loud, like, I've done through this, and this. But it's harder to show that history through action than having a character just cite a bunch of books they've been in.
Sure.
Zangiftil says, I watch ComicPop for almost a year now, and I love it. Well, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Sorry I screwed up your name. Thanks for the work / passion and intel on the comic industry. Have you heard of the Chimera Brigade, by the way? Just curious on his fame in the U.S. No, I have not. Sorry. I wish I could be more, insightful on that.
I've got nothing.
Yeah. Steampunk, yo, I recently finished Guardians of the Galaxy 2009. I loved it. I'm currently reading the Thanos Imperative. Nice. You will enjoy that, my friend. Guardians was great. What's it about them? We stand Sal acknowledging John Mulaney's ickiness. Yay! Nice. Good, I'm glad. Yeah, he is funny though. You gotta admit. Thorn Identity.
I don't know.
Events suck. Repeatedly doing events sucks, but the fans keep buying them. They're always a sales spike. That's true. That always does help. If they do an event, and listen, the retailers, they want them.
Oh yeah.
And they're where the books are being sold. Like retailers need them. The problem is they're not like, and as I'm sure you're aware, like they don't know how anymore to sell them or how to space them and how to incorporate them into the larger space.
And I bet they're too afraid that the other guy will not stop if they stop for a little bit, and then they'll be like, well, we lost that money that they got instead. And it's like,
that's not how that works. No one's like skipping. No one's not reading a DC event because there aren't any who's going to read 2 Marvel events.
Right.
It's a fallacy, and I think you know that. Vance Lindsley, after I gave him the status quo update on the X-Men Eternals, he was sold. Oh,
nice.
There you go.
Hooray.
I'm hoping I'm bringing him back for some current X-Men trades. I feel like if he likes it, he's gonna be.
And honestly, if he likes it, then you can also push the Kieran Gillen Eternals books on him too, because if he likes the writing in there. Heck yeah.
Yeah. I read Murder World Game Over #1. This was the last issue of Murder World from Jim Zub and Ray Fox. This was an event, story arc, miniseries that
all #1s.
That are all #1s, and it was almost impossible to follow because that was how it was sold. And it is I hope it begins a conversation at one of both companies, because they're both doing it. About the fallacy of doing this and what a mistake it was, because I'll guarantee you that the sales dipped every single time this issue, like another one of these issues came out. Although I don't know what the economics are. Maybe they tricked people into reading these #1s each time, finding out they were reading part 4 or 3 of an event or a story arc that featured literally no superheroes in them.
Right.
Despite the cover. If you knew what this was, like you watch this show and you're aware of what this channel is, then you know, because you saw my interview with Jim Zub in which we talked about Murder World and the development thereof. And so you've been clamoring for Murder World for the last 2 or 3 years. I think actually we've only talked about it within the past year.
Okay.
I've known about it for at least 3. But Murder World is one of these things that it features nobody. It's all about it's actually world building in the big 2, which I'm sure they won't do again. And here's what it is. You know how like Arcade makes these elaborate and crazy death traps for our heroes. Our heroes can't always die in them, obviously. So how does Arcade keep getting the funding for these Murder World contraptions if he's always losing? Well, Murder World is the event that shows you Arcade on the off days when he is very successful.
Oh, okay.
So this is Murder World, a Murder World that Arcade made that features a bunch of people. It's Squid Game. It's a bunch of people that are all like going to kill each other until one person's left and they get $100 million. And Arcade's like, that's it. And there's no super people in them. With a little bit of an exception.
Okay.
But no one they're all original characters. So like it's doing all the things you want, folks. It's all original characters. It's subversive. It plays on continuity, and it's in continuity and it matters, and it's doing something different. But it petered out, and I think each issue was as strong as the last. But The momentum, I'm sure, was hurt by this, and I hope that in trade it will find its audience.
Okay.
I didn't know anybody talking about this besides Zub and me.
Okay.
So I hope people enjoyed it. It's now finished. I don't even remember how many effing issues there are of this because every single issue was a number 1.
Right.
But I think there were 6. I think it's 5 or 6.
Okay.
So check out Murder World if you get a chance. Obviously, nobody can talk about it online because you have the word murder in it.
Yeah.
So that's another problem that they didn't think about. And why would they? Why should they? Don't change the name. Like, you know what? YouTube should change their nonsense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. I expect to see a 19-year-old talking about it on TikTok any day.
Good,
Adam Denhouse says, just discovered Dead Boy Detectives was a solo comic. Have you, Tiffany, been reading it? Keep them lights on.
Yeah, I mentioned it last week.
That's right.
As a recommend. I read the first issue and then I kind of fell off a little bit on it. I know an issue came out this week and then I remembered I hadn't read the last issue, so oops. so
oops.
Gotta go back and grab the other one first, and then maybe I'll catch back up on that. I liked it well enough.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't like grab me necessarily, but I liked it well enough.
Yeah.
For sure.
What'd you read?
What did I read? Just while we're here, really quickly. I read The Phantom Road. I have it here. That's why I'm making so much noise over here. I read The Phantom Road #1 by Jeff Lemire with art by Gabriel Walta.
Yes.
Yeah, I love this.
Yay.
I like legitimately loved it. There was like a moment in this book that I was like, I am sold. I will buy all of these right now.
Yeah.
Like, there's just this moment where I'm like, yep. And as long as that's where we keep going in this book, yep. Yeah. I am yes. It was like, it reminded me of a like No Sleep story or like a David Lynch story or like a No Sleep story told by David Lynch. Like, I don't know. Like, there is something there and I was just all about it.
Yeah.
I'm all about whatever story this is. I think it was like 5-6 issues. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't care, but I'm going to buy them all.
That's interesting. You should say
By
that.
the way, I hope that like by issue 2, like it keeps going, and I'm not like, oh, never mind.
Oh no,
because like this issue, I was like, this is a great moment where it's like there's like right before this page, this splash that says like Phantom Road, right? Right before this, there's like a moment of like character's gonna do something. They use it as like a hard cut,
right? Like we're gonna have to ride the Phantom Road.
But it doesn't even do that. It's just. I gotta do what I gotta do. Bam! Cut to after the action has occurred, and I'm like, I loved that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, this team did Sentient for TKO Productions.
Okay.
It's Gabriel Walta and Lemire.
Okay.
Which was fine, but this sounds exciting. I'll give you a copy of Sentient so you can check that out. Okay.
But yeah, this is.
I see they were working together on again.
So I don't know what I was expecting. I mean, honestly, if you look at this cover, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that was what I should have expected. But like, yeah, just really well done. Jeff Lemire stuff doesn't always hit for me, and that's a me thing. Like
hit or miss.
He is hit or miss for me.
Yeah, you said it always hit for you.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't.
I kind of like made that into one word, but he doesn't always hit for me.
Yeah,
does
that's
not.
Fair.
So I was like,
no, he doesn't.
I got to give it a shot. But this, yes.
Phantom Road, yes. A-okay.
Got some horror going on here. It is rated M, everybody. I just want you to all right.
M for
M for but like this was quick. It was good too. It didn't feel decompressed. I'm hoping everything, all the issues feel like that. It just was like, whoa, and then I was like, next one now, please.
Nikki T, been going off the beaten path of DC lately to expand my palette. Read the entire Palmiotti, Gray, Jonah Hex series. Have you read it? No, Jonah Hex has never appealed to me. Maybe it's his Confederacy alignment, but I never really. I appreciate him when he shows up once in a while. Like, I always liked it, and it was ruined by Josh Brolin in his movie, which is an unwatchable shit show. But I always liked it when somebody asked, "What's wrong with your face?" and he'd say, "Cut myself shaving." That always appealed to me when I was like a kid, and then it was in the movie, and I'm like, that sucks.
There is something, you know what it is? Like, they need to take that character and just put him away and make a different character. because I like the idea of like, there's like something about that, like just a grizzled old.
Yeah.
They don't have to be that though.
Right. They don't have to be a Confederate, you mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And you could just have like it could be anybody. I don't care.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I agree.
Kind of neat.
Yeah, he's a neat character, and I don't have any favorite story with him in it outside of Batman Universe, but he's like in it. He doesn't factor. That's not a Jonah Hex story. Cat Lawyer Defense Retreats. Have you seen Dan Mora's work on TMNT Power Rangers crossover? It's so ridiculously good looking. Any 90s crossover you might want to do on back issues? I have only seen promo art for it. I've never read it because I don't care, but I might pick it up. We'll see. Dan Mora's great, obviously, thanks to Tiffany's influence.
Thank you.
I saw Dan Mora drew, speaking of comedians in cars getting coffee, Seinfeld made that book, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee book.
Yeah.
There's a page in it that depicts Superman and Seinfeld driving the Batmobile with Batman swinging in, and they're all drinking coffee, and it's drawn by Dan Mora.
What?
Yeah.
That's weird.
It's very weird.
I mean, good for him.
I know.
Get that work. I mean, he's run Batman. He doesn't need that.
He doesn't need it. And he especially doesn't care about the older work like Once and Future because it wasn't at his booth at New York Comic Con. It's all superheroes.
Or he knows what sells and he couldn't afford to.
You couldn't afford to bring 2 copies of Once and Future. Or print one poster.
It costs a lot to do that stuff.
He's not from around here.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, so it could have just been like he either was provided those, or you know what I mean. Like maybe DC was like, we'll help to print some of these things for you. Yeah. I don't know.
Nick Barucci with a huge super chat. Nick, thank you so much for your generosity.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Huge fan of the show. Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Loved your appearance on the Word Balloon episode. Nice. Yes, I was on John Suntress's Word Balloon. Let us know if you want any Dynamite Premium subscriber giveaways. Well, thank you very much, Nick. I have not. I'll have to look at my thing. I think I'm on your press list, so I will check that out. But thank you very much for checking out that show. I know that you're watching for John, but I appreciate that you were checking us out. Thank you for your generosity.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
I will let you know. If I don't have your digits, I will get them soon. So thank you very much, Nick. Appreciate it. And thank you so much for your generosity, man. Thank you. What's it about them? Is your guys' P.O. box still the same? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
To our detriment.
Go ahead.
Because because there are so many old episodes of Letters Page, and because we don't do it so frequently that you can like make an update and tell people what our PO box is, I have not divorced ourselves of our terrible post office and gotten a new PO box.
Sounds like a real issue with our post office.
Yeah, they act like
this is not this show to talk about postal issues.
I'm just saying they act like it's an inconvenience for me to have one.
This is about comic book issues that came out.
That's true.
Last week.
Thorn Identity. Tiffany was so lit up about Hawks and Pox and Strange Academy. What gives you that joy today?
I mean, Strange Academy still gives me that joy. Not at the same degree, but it definitely does. But like,
just happy that you're happy it's out, but you're not like, oh
yeah. No, I gotta tell you right now, I think it's Sins of Sinister. Like, I am just eating that up, and I think it's just because I love that like style of writing, and I love to see a collaboration like that come. I really like to see a plan come together. I love to see like people working together that harmoniously.
Mm-hmm.
It just delights me to see that. So hopefully it keeps going.
It has to do with character too. You like, but it's the depiction of that character. Like, it's not enough to have Sinister. A lot of people are just like happy to see Silver Surfer show up in something, but it's like no. I like Straczynski's Silver Surfer. You know, that's the only kind. Whereas with Sinister, it's like it's not just enough to have Sinister in the book. There's plenty of books in the '90s you could read that have Sinister in them.
Yeah, I'm not
but like you like to see Kieran Gillen write Sinister, Cy Spurrier talk about Sinister, Al Ewing if he's gonna deign to do that.
I like their world building, I really do, and like it really does bring me a lot of joy to jump into those books, especially because they're playing. They get to go to a time and place in the Marvel universe where they can do whatever they want. It's okay.
It's true.
It's okay. We can mess around.
Yeah.
So that's bringing me a lot of joy.
I read Spider-Man #6 from Dan Slott and Mark Bagley. End of Spider-Verse Part 6. I thought it was the end. That's why I was like, no, all right, I'll read the last issue. But it's not. It's the second to last issue because every miniseries is great.
The
at 7 issues. I did. I don't know if the book is continuing after this. It looks like it is. So, whatever. It looks like it's wrapping up at 8, but it says it will to be concluded in issue 7. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're getting like an Omega issue in there or something.
Okay.
But it's fine. It just keeps it. If you like the spiders and you like to see 1,000 spider people on one page, it's fun to see. It is undoing things. It's Dan Slott doing what he does best when he's done after like a 30-year run on something. He puts all the toys back in the box. So if you're like, oh man, I'm really disappointed by how cavalierly Dan Slott murdered like every spider character I like. Like, I love the Hostess Pie Spider-Man. Why did he kill him? Well, You know that magic dagger? Yeah, Morlun gets cut open with it, and all the spiders jump out of it. So I guess we're just fixing that. We're reweaving the web of life, and we're putting all the spiders back. So maybe Mayday Parker's Peter Parker is back. That's exciting. I was like, good for you putting all the toys back in the toy box.
I have no right to ask this question because I'm the person who's always just like, man, it's awesome, magic.
Yeah.
But
oh, no.
How?
It's a magic dagger.
What?
Oh, because it did that thing where Peter was the chosen one.
Yeah.
And Silk was the bride of the spider or something like that because of some kind of prophecy. But then they realized they misread the prophecy, and actually Silk is the chosen one. The one that Dan Slott created. Yeah, she's the chosen one. So she's because she's wielding the Loom Weaver's knife of who gives a shit. She's able to do stuff with it, and because she's like the chosen one.
I don't mean the how of that. Listen, like
because it's all magic.
You can just say magic. That's fine. I guess I'm wondering how that happened a while ago.
Yeah, well, they're still in him. He's Morlun.
Maybe I don't understand the digestive system of Morlun.
Well,
that's really my fault.
Nobody cares, and it doesn't matter.
That's
because Straczynski created him, and then Dan Slott buried him. So here you go.
Okay.
This is whatever.
What is who cares?
Why are you asking?
I
don't.
God. Listen, after I asked, I immediately regretted asking.
Yeah, no, they don't even bother.
But I also did want to know.
Not thinking about it. But it is doing. But it is fixing things that he broke.
Okay.
By broke, I mean he's like, look, nobody's gonna tell. Like Mayday's not getting more books, so I'll kill Peter. And then we'll see what happens.
Right.
But then he's like, you know what? How many books is Dan Slott writing for Marvel? Boy, if I were DC, I'd be courting him right now. And maybe
they're we don't want that.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine both. I can imagine because Dan Slott, like him or leave him, he sells books. This book is in the top somehow, and not just because it's Spider-Verse, although I'm sure that helps. But he's. I mean, you love one of his books. Arkham Asylum, not Serious House and Serious Earth, the other one.
Yeah, the other one.
But it's good.
It's quite good.
And I think that if Slott were given a Bat book, he'd be great.
But that was a Slott at a different time too.
It's very true.
That's
a pre-message board, trolling Dan Slott.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, probably not. Now that I think about it, but pre-message board trolling Dan Slott, who also wasn't a professional comic book writer.
Sure.
Actually, that's not true either, because he was. Because he wrote the Spider-Man Ren and Stimpy comic. Like he's been writing comic books forever. Right. He wrote that amazing story that took place in Planet of the Symbiotes that was drawn by Bagley that was about Jean DeWolf meeting up with Spider-Man when he was still wearing the symbiote. Yeah. A lot of Dan Slott books you like out there. Beeper Leaper, which is a great name, says, "Hey Sal and Tiffany, your show is so relaxing to me and reduces my anxiety." Well, I'm happy to hear that, man.
Well, good.
Despite my anxiety, I'm glad that we can do it. Question: who would you hire to direct a live-action Spawn film if he ever gets made? Keep up the great work.
Well, Sal,
this
is a question for you.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Honest. You're right.
Sorry, internet.
Oh no,
I hit my mic.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just didn't want to.
I didn't see where you
just answer the question.
David Fincher.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it needs to be dark and cheap.
Okay.
I'd like the guy who made Seven to make Spawn.
Yeah, but did you want it to be superhero-y?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's Spawn. Okay. Spawn's no superhero. He's an asshole. No, I would love to see the guy who made
cape.
Yeah, and I'd like to see that.
Oh,
and it would look dope. Okay. No, I want it to be like the directive is David Fincher, you can do whatever you want, but you have to keep the Spawn canon. Like you can't change anything. Go.
Okay.
From the costume, yes, the M, no new the Todd McFarlane drawn suit from 91.
Yeah.
Violator, all that crap.
Yeah.
The lineage, Wanda, Terry, not the abortion, just the stuff.
Okay.
From the first 9 issues of Spawn.
Yeah.
But do whatever story you want. It could be about the brothers that he rescues. It could be a made up thing about whatever.
Okay.
Like Jason Wynn, terrorist. Do it all. Do it all.
Okay.
But I would like to see a $65 million hard R-rated Spawn movie that treats Spawn very seriously, but is also like really, really well made. You know, with cinema, with real cinematography and like, you know, groundbreaking special effects that weave puppetry with CGI.
Okay.
That's what I would do. It would make $1.98, but I would love it anyway.
Okay.
And I would love it so much. I want to just go into another reality and get that Blu-ray and watch it, because it'd be so like, you'd be like, what the like I love movies and shows like that. When we see things like that where I'm like, why? Like if I got into comic books in the year 2009.
So that's not true, because we watched Cats and you were not like that. You were not having any of it.
It's not a movie.
Okay. We just watched this, everybody. And it wasn't just me and Sal. It was me, Sal, and Ethan.
Yeah.
And me and Ethan had the appropriate reaction to this, which was like whimsical questioning of reality.
Yep.
And Sal hated every second that he had to spend in that room.
Yes.
And wished he could be anywhere else.
No, I mean, I was glad to be there. Just, it's not like a real movie. It's just a thing.
I'm just saying,
like
that's a movie that's like, why?
No.
That is that.
I know I hate to use this example, but like if I had gotten into comics in the year like 2012.
Okay.
And
like
I
just reading them for the first time.
Yeah, I'm just getting into comics, but I'm like, but I'm also like, you know, like I'm me. So I'm like, let's get into the history. Let's find this. And I found those like 15 episodes of the Max. You're like, what? Who made this? Why do they do? Like, I want things that are like, that's amazing. You made this. Like, if I watch Big Guy and Rusty the cartoon, like, what? The Men in Black cartoon. What? Why is it so good? Why is this the best version of Men in Black? This cartoon show that shouldn't exist. How did it exist? Who made this? I want David Fincher's Spawn.
That's what we're talking about here?
What?
Okay.
As a close second, I guess Ridley Scott can make Spawn, because he knows how to make all that crap.
How about a director from the past? I don't know.
Ridley Scott made a movie on, you know, he's making movies now. He's an Oscar-winning director.
Okay.
Instead of making Alien Coven or Covenant.
Yeah,
Covenant. Because a collection of xenomorphs is called a Coven. No, no.
I would watch that movie.
What?
Alien Coven?
Yeah, where it's witches versus aliens. No, I would love to see Ridley Scott making a Spawn movie.
Okay.
Revens is a great question. They're all great questions.
But Mike Flanagan's
Spawn
series.
It'd be too real. Like
it'd be awesome.
The thing is, it'd be too good. Like it'd be like,
good. Yeah.
Because he'd be like, well, this issue we got to do this issue, we got to do this issue. Problem is, it would be made by Netflix, so it would look like garbage.
Whatever. He's got his own teams he brings in sometimes.
No, Netflix has this. They're like, you have to use these cameras and these lights and this bullshit.
But you've seen his shows. They don't want to look like that.
No, but they all look like the same thing. Like they all look like Mike Flanagan projects.
Well, yeah, they should.
But Spawn should look different.
Maybe he would.
That's fine.
Because it wouldn't be his project.
None of them are. He doesn't. Anyway, I'd watch Mike Flanagan's Spawn show though. Yeah.
Or Eggers. He wouldn't do it.
No. Eggers won't. He's on record. He'll never make a comic book movie. Spawn maybe though. Right. Alan Moore wrote Spawn comic books.
He might be like,
maybe like, fuck Marvel. Let's make Spawn.
You gotta work with Todd though.
Yeah. Did you see that someone leaked the entire animated Scooby-Doo DC crossover movie online? It was one of the many finished products that was deleted. Yes, I did. I did see that.
Oh.
It's called Scooby-Doo and Crypto 2. And the idea is that the Justice League has vanished and they hired the mystery team to find them. And Crypto helps them as well. And I'm like, yeah, sold.
That's kind of cute.
And the animation looks really good. Like, no, you can download it. And you should. I hope everyone downloads it. I hope everyone steals that movie. Because if you're going to say like, oh, it doesn't exist, I'm like, whatever animator made that show or made that movie who leaked it is a hero. Good for them. Batgirl next. That being said, I think that Scooby-Doo actually would, I'm sure Batgirl's a terrible movie, but I also think that Scooby-Doo, it's like, who cares?
Right.
Dan Wesley for this, keep it up. Thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate it. I love these super stickers. They're so great. Let's do a book.
Yeah, you think we should?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You got?
I got a bunch.
Good.
How many you got left?
Like 3.
I've got 4.
All right, do them all.
Do them all?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I read X-Force this week.
Of course you did.
Written by Ben Percy with art by a person.
Robert Gill.
Robert Gill, Leave me alone. I read 2 Ben Percy books this week. And apparently that's enough to make me not remember who drew it. This is listen, we were doing the whole thing like, oh, Xeno, and they got an egg, and they stole a mutant baby, and what are we gonna do about that? So they don't really know any of that until they get to this location. They gotta get the egg. That's the only thing they know.
Okay.
So we kind of wrap that up. We just wrap it up with a little bow. Like the guy in charge of Xeno was like a the clone of the Gengineered, and we just kind of deal with that. Yes. Domino has like a really cathartic moment for herself. They rescue that kid.
Good.
Beast, proves himself to be
trash.
Yep, Beast is trash. And there you go.
What a shock.
And then we're like, we kind of wrap this up, and they're like, hey, next we're starting another arc coming up. This was fine. I like Ben Percy. He's he really can churn it out, but sometimes the issues are a little weaker, it feels like. And I got to tell you, this wasn't my favorite.
That's fair.
It wasn't horrible at all, and it wasn't bad. It just I was like, oh, okay, cool.
How's the coloring?
Coloring's fine.
Okay.
Why?
Oh, it's just a familiar name.
Oh, okay. I mean, we get like a couple of Attack on Titan moments here.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's literally what that is.
Yeah, the coloring's fine. It's like
I know them to be not great.
Oh.
I heard that Attack on Titan's ending, by the way.
That makes sense. They let those end.
I know.
Sometimes. Not all.
I don't want everything to end. I'm happy with things continuing. I'm just saying. But yeah, so it's it's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
I got to catch a little bit back up on Wolverine to make sure I'm keeping in the loop with what's going on with
stuff,
with the Beast. Additionally, in that pocket of the
Marvel Universe
talking about X-Men, Rogue and Gambit came out.
Yes, it did.
This week. Rogue and Gambit #1, which you knew I was going to read, written by Stephanie Phillips with art by Carlos Gomez. Looks great. I really like this art style. It's kind of like it kind of has the vibes of like
of
what the Krakoan X books kind of look like.
It has a little bit of a Pepe Larraz look.
A little bit, but like really just that like super clean look.
Clean lines.
Things are stylized.
Modern colors.
Everything's a little cheesecakey.
Fair. Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
A little bit of that going on there. But like this is taking Rogue and Gambit. They've been married now for a bit, right? Like they've been living on Krakoa. She was on
the X-Men.
She was also on Excalibur on that team for a little bit, along with she didn't get to do much though. No. But Gambit was there too, and then he was there. She was on X-Men. They were like still married, but not living together. Now he's really on no team. He's died and came back, and
now he's here.
And now like she's off of X-Men.
Yes.
But she still got called away, and so she missed out on a date. So clearly we're going to be getting into a little bit of their relationship status just in general, but also don't forget Destiny is back, and as one of her adopted moms, Destiny can't help but include herself oftentimes in their lives, and that's really what's going to spur on this adventure for them. Is that Destiny needs them to do something.
Oh no.
She wants them to get Manifold and bring him to her.
Okay.
Manifold had been working with Ten of Swords. So this book really is like, hey,
remember that stuff?
Listen, let's set a book in the universe right now and have it make sure it like references and talks about other things. So it's like, Manifold was working with Sword, and now after Abigail Brand betrayed everybody, he doesn't really want to work with Krakoa. He's like, I don't really trust anybody. So he's like, I'm not gonna help you.
Okay.
So he ends up wanting to he's following a series of disappearances of villains, including Lady Deathstrike.
Oh, cool.
But like Elektra is also in there, so it's not all mutants, right? And he's trying to figure out what's going on, and presumably there's like some nefarious organization who's like taking villains and then I guess selling them off. That's kind of the vibes we're getting to like the highest bidder with like a chip in them so that they can control them.
Oh no.
And what, we're gonna see where that goes. But like Manifold might be in some hot water there. But Rogue and Gambit, so there's like this one moment that I really like the overall like feel of this book I enjoyed. Remy talks like Remy would. There's a lot of, Cajun
vernacular
of things in there and what have you. But there's this one moment that was a little like, I don't listen. I guess it's the heat of the battle, or I've never been in a fight, so I don't know. But they're on the tarmac. This dude's going to escape, and Rogue goes like, "We can't let him leave." And I'm like, "Can't you fly?" Aren't you the strongest person in the room right now?
Yes.
Why are you telling them?
Right?
Because we needed that to happen so that Manifold could be put at risk because something happens which like nullifies powers for a quick moment. And so they have to leave. And I'm like, there was a lot of things had to happen to make this all flow, but
Yeah.
fine. I'm still going to read this book. I'm still excited for it because I liked a lot of the early relationship stuff. And I think that whatever we're dealing with destiny, so no matter what, it's going to infuriate me just because
sure.
of the nature of that character. As long as you're doing it right, it's going to infuriate me.
Mhm.
So I like it. I'm going to check out more.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good
Stuff. Additionally, in the Marvel universe, I read Ghost Rider.
Oh, yay! This is the Fool Me book. Benjamin Percy, Corey Smith.
Yeah.
Should we even cut to the chase? Like, so to speak? Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Is Danny catching the damn book?
Like, technically.
Oh my god. So you're out.
I'm not out. No way.
What?
Because he's gonna be in it next time.
No, he's not.
Sure. Yeah,
it's
no,
a
he
lie.
will. No,
He wasn't in the last one,
He will.
Do you want him to be, or is he actually going to be?
I think I do. And I haven't really been keeping up with good old Dan there. This is written by Ben Percy with art by Corey Smith.
Mm-hmm.
This book is a very distinct look. You either like it or you don't.
Uh-huh. Do you like it?
I like it for the tone of this book.
Okay.
Like,
but you wouldn't want to see all the time.
Bingo.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, no, this fits for this book 100%.
Fair.
But like, I wouldn't be like my number one for the main X title necessarily,
Mm-hmm.
unless we were doing a scary book, and then that would be fine too.
Yeah.
But Danny was involved in a whole bunch of stuff, which I always forget. He went to Limbo and he got a different spirit, and now I literally can never remember which spirit it was, and that's fine.
It was like the Redemption or something like that.
He was like something different.
He looked different.
Looked like that.
Yeah, because it looked like garbage.
He didn't necessarily. It wasn't his best, strongest look.
But like, why? I understand why. Like, Hawkeye's worst look was in the 80s because he looked stupid. But like, why does anyone get away with having their worst look now?
It feels like they were like, it's just another way to make him not look like Johnny, I guess. I
right, but
know.
because Johnny's just a pastiche of all the Ghost Riders.
They wanted to try something different. That's for certain. They wanted to do something a little different.
Good for them
with his character, and then we
haven't seen him since.
And who doesn't want to invent something?
No, they all do.
A character,
absolutely.
like you want to give it a shot. You want to set that new.
You want to be a hyperlink
quo.
in a Wikipedia in a wiki article.
Definitely want that. But this issue is just more of what's been going on with Johnny and his traveling companion, where it's like we were going across the U.S. and we're taking care of stuff. And I'm like, that is really
that's the book.
That is what I could get behind for a Ghost Rider book. Going across the states, you can go across anywhere. It doesn't have to be America.
But it should be because it's annoying when he's in what was it, wherever the hell he was when they made that second Ghost Rider movie, where it's like, oh, cool, you filmed it in Poland, neat.
I have no problem with that type of thing. It's just if we're getting back to his origins, it makes sense for them to do that.
Yes.
Oh my god, I will find the name of this guy. I'm like simultaneously trying to come up with his name. Spirit of Corruption. That's it. It's the Spirit of Corruption.
That sucks.
Oh my gosh, I got it.
Yay, way to go.
Thank you.
Is he still that?
Thank you, Marvel Database. Maybe he looks like a crazy person. That's what he looks like in the book too. He looks like Weapon X.
This is the next issue.
Well, that's what we see of him in this.
This is Danny now. Okay,
that's what we're going after. That's what they sense. Anyway, Savannah is burning.
Oh no!
The city of Savannah is burning. And we get like the dark history of it, where it's like it's built on bones, and there's the Revolutionary War, Civil War, like there's just bodies, right?
Yeah,
that's what this is built on. So it's always been kind of like an iffy place, and like demons were there and other such things. But like when Johnny shows up, it's like not only are there like regular people bodies in the street, there's also demon bodies. Like something happened here, and what happened is something with Danny, and so he's trying to figure out like. Here's what I think is interesting. He's like, I feel like, this feels like it was another spirit of something. I wonder who it was. And I'm like, it's a short list, man.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. But you know what? Fine. That's Johnny. So we end up having to have a scene that's like a la a lot of things you might have seen already. And immediately my brain couldn't help but go to those places. It reminded me of Constantine. It reminded me of Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
They end up having to they go to like a love hotel. Not really. It's just a hotel. They get the honeymoon suite. There's like a big jacuzzi bath in there. They get all this salt.
Yes.
They create like a saline sort of solution for his traveling companion to float in so that she can.
Oh, now see what he's seeing.
No, she wants to find
the
link. So like they use his blood, and she's able to see like all the different people he's connected to via his blood, like his dad and like his kids and his wife whereas Roxanne, not really
Uh-huh.
wife, but you know what I mean? Like, and then also Danny.
Yeah.
And, you know, that like something's up with that. Something's up with him. Might want to go find out where he is, what he is all about. So technically we see him.
Okay.
We technically see him. He's got the sword. He looks like the spirit of corruption in this, if that's what he is, because he has the sword.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I guess he's still the spirit of corruption. I guess we're not going to ignore that.
We're not going to,
Which, hey, listen.
Cool. Good for you.
If Ben is going to go, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
We're going to get rid of that.
Appreciate him at least referring to it.
I'd appreciate us like going through those actions and getting rid of that and
Yes.
just sloughing that off essentially.
Please.
But he looks a little bit more like a Ghost Rider in this. Where he
Yeah.
looks like a combo of himself and what they were trying to do with the spirit of corruption.
Okay.
And so like there is something there, but he also has like kind of a Weapon X look
Yeah.
going for him.
Hmm.
So this is really just the book that I'm reading. I think a few other folk are reading this book just because they're fans of Johnny, and this has been one of the better books for Ghost Rider, I think, to come out in recent memory.
Okay, cool.
Because I think the last thing before this was Danny becoming the spirit of corruption. It was kind of it wasn't great. That was not one of my favorites at all.
Called mid.
I would say it was mid. So yeah. So I've got one last book if you want.
Yeah, no, that's a bigger one, but
you want me to hold off on
yeah,
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me just rapid fire really quick. I read Stephanie
Sure.
Phillips and Juan Cabal's Cosmic Ghost Rider #1. The second story is better than the first one. It's fine. You don't need to read this, but like if you like this character, you know, it's fine. It's not poorly written. It's just not terribly engaging. But but again, the second story, which is like fewer pages, is better than the first one.
Okay.
Human Target #12, the final issue with
this
Greg
looks
Smallwood.
the most like a novel.
Yes. And Tom King. Yeah, this book was. I
bet this is the cover for the trade.
Yeah, I'll bet it is too. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Unless they do a new cover.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it's funny. I was actually a little disappointed by this cover because it was like so different from all the other ones. But then I remembered that like each cover is so distinctly different from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, good for you. This is a good issue. It wraps up everything. Obviously, like you know what happened in the last issue, so this kind of like wraps things up, and it's bittersweet. But doesn't really answer the question of like, when did this take place? Is this actually in reality? Tom King will tell you that it actually definitely happened, but I don't know if it did. We'll see.
Okay.
But it's good. It's good. I don't know if I felt as strongly about this as I have for the last 11 issues, but I'm talking to Tom about this in the next couple of days, and we'll talk. We'll hash it out then.
Okay.
I'll probably end up rereading the entire damn series.
I
before
guarantee you will. You're gonna be doing that tonight.
Yeah.
Like, I can see that happening now.
Yeah.
Just be like, okay.
Yeah, because I wasn't as taken, and it could be just the weight.
It could be the weight, and that is a thing. Like, if you're reading a series and you're lukewarm on it, right? Like, let's just say you're reading it like in issue to issue, right? When you're all done with it, go back and read it all in one sitting. That doesn't mean you have to go and buy the trade.
No, it's true.
But you should have all those issues in some way, shape, or form. Whether that
maybe
be
it read better.
Yeah, like try it again. If it's something where you're like, I see people talking about it positively, or like you think you should have enjoyed it more than you did, give it another shot reading it all at one sitting, or maybe like two sittings.
Yeah.
Like it reads differently sometimes.
It does. Yeah.
I've had entirely different experiences with some books.
Absolutely. Dan V900 with the reveal to the end of The Nail, which I wasn't a big fan of when I originally read it. A villain reveal that works is the end of JSA Golden Age. I don't expect you to cover it, but it's great. Yeah, it's on our list. We'll do it. Jason Duarte, remember when you guys covered Valiant Comics a couple years back? Ever plan on revisiting some of their stories and back issues? I do remember when we used to do that. No.
Yeah, no,
those days are over.
Yes, the ship has sailed.
Yes. There is a new issue of Exo Manowar coming. I did have a chance to read it, and I think that Valiant will fuck it up. X Abbott, all these events have led me to only reading Punisher at Marvel, Batman World's Finest, and anything Jeff Johns at DC. Rest all Image. Okay,
that's fair. Listen, you know what you get though from that is that with Image, you know that the story that you're getting is what the creator wanted to tell, and oftentimes it has a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah,
and whatever happens in that book has real ramifications for that.
Absolutely.
Book. So I completely understand that.
Yeah. Sean D, come on, Tiff. Let's say I'll go postal.
No.
Beeper Leaper. Hey, Sound Tiffany, your show is so relaxing and reduces my anxiety. Wait. I think you did that. Did we do this one already? Or maybe he did it twice? Either way.
Well, thank you again.
Thank you for your support, man.
Twice.
Let's jump into the further. There's This thing needs to have like a separate section.
That'd be cool. We should make some suggestions.
Yeah, Nikki T, do you guys know if there are any books Nick Darrington's currently working on? I need more door art on my shelves. Dude, no.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I would say, you know, obviously pick up Batman Universe, grab Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I haven't really seen a lot of Nick Darrington work.
Well, he's been doing a lot of like single, like, so if you're looking for just
he
his
did
art
Batman, Superman.
I was thinking he's been doing a lot of like redraws. Like he is doing art, but he's been doing a lot of like Mobius.
Oh, I know.
Stuff.
Yeah, those homages. Yeah, those are great.
They're really excellent. So if you're not following him on whatever your preferred social media is, I think he does a lot of posting of art though over on Instagram.
He does.
So you might want to check out the account over there if you don't have an account. That's a pain in the butt, but he might have someplace else then. So I would just check out his different socials to see his art. He
drew the first 4 issues of Future State, The Next Batman. I remember him doing that.
Oh yeah.
Apparently he's on Superman Space Age. I don't know if he's drawing the interiors, but that's a book that it was under my radar. He's credited as it at least.
I don't see him. Oh, there he did a cover.
Oh, he did a cover. Well, that's not exactly the same thing as a Comic Vine, but yeah, I haven't seen him do a lot lately, which is a real shame because he's great.
He is.
Yeah. And Rystone 111 or 11/7. Happy Monday from the deserts of Arizona. Sal, have you ever checked out the Batman animated series comics from Dini and Burnett? And if so, would you recommend it? Yeah, I have, and I would. Yeah, we have a bunch of them. But I read them as a kid, and they were great.
Aww.
The older ones, yeah. Yeah, they're good. There's one of my favorite Riddler stories is in there. It's this really great one where Riddler.
Well, there's like that's easy to say.
Yeah,
you're not a big fan of both of them.
No, they're awful.
Riddler stories, not that.
Not the animated series, obviously, but yeah, no. Yeah, they're not usually great. It's tough. And yeah, that's okay. So Tiffany, you got one.
I do have one. Okay. So I'm gonna go over mine.
Okay.
So I read Spider-Man Unforgiven because I said I was going to.
You did.
And I knew Sal wasn't going to, and I think that's fair. You would not have liked this.
I leafed through it.
Did you?
Yep. And you were right.
It's fun though.
It looks like it's very different. Like it's doing its own thing. And then I saw the ending and I'm like, oh, okay, you're doing that thing.
Yeah. Let's talk about this.
They're murder worlding it.
So this is written by Tim Seeley with art by Sid Kotian. And the it's not Spider-Man. It's not it is a Spider-Man book, but it's under the Unforgiven banner. So there's going to be Spider-Man Unforgiven, X-Men Unforgiven, and Avengers Unforgiven.
Right. So it's the book is called Unforgiven.
And it's all weaving one story about vampires.
Yes, it does. But Spider-Man is the main character of this issue. So if you're interested in seeing Spider-Man deal with like magical and vampire stuff, then you'll enjoy it.
He is a like quippy.
He is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man in this 100%. That we're not getting into any of the drama of what's going on in his life right now. You have no idea what's happening around him
personally.
At this moment. It's just here it is. What I didn't know about this was because I don't typically dive into the vampire side of Marvel, which is weird because I read a lot of random things that have vampires in them. So why not I go there? There's actually something from this I might go and grab, which is like the issue in which Raizo Kodo is created. I might go and check that out. I think that's something I might be interested in.
Mm-hmm.
But it's about the team called The Forgiven,
right?
Which are a bunch of vampires who are like, no, it's cool. We're actually okay, and we help to save the world against all kinds of things.
And Blade's like, I'll still kill you.
Blade's not even in this,
no,
right?
He's not.
So we got that going on, and then also we have like Tim Seeley remembers that like there is a sorceress supreme by the name of Salome who is gonna come back, and she's doing her own thing. And it's like, if you want to know more about that, you can go back to the 90s and pick up I think it's Strange by. I can't remember his name. It's not the same guy though. It's a different guy that I can never remember the name of. But it's like it's a later part of Stranger. I thought it was DeMatteis for a second, but it's actually not him doing this.
Nor is it Mackie.
No, but I want to say it's like 94, 95, somewhere in there. You can go and check out where she came from. But it's like, hey, there is this chick. She's from another universe.
Oh, okay.
And she was Sorceress Supreme there.
Sorceress Supreme.
Supreme. Yes.
Cool.
But listen, like this book it's so funny. Okay, so I got a bunch of thoughts on this. First, let's talk about Kotian's art. It is super duper stylized.
Yes.
And has like shades of Romita and whatchamacallit,
Kyle Holtz.
Frank Miller
Mm.
ish.
Yeah.
Like early for both of them.
Yes.
Like there's some mixture of those two, and that's like where I land.
Ooh, yeah.
Like, but then also like some of the problems too.
Uh-huh.
Like, so we run into some stuff that I'm like, oh, and I'm like, that's where I'm at. It gives me those vibes.
Uh-huh.
And I think because of that, though, I also get like a late 90s feel to this book just in general. Like, you know, it doesn't act like it necessarily.
Mhm.
But like the humor in it, the action in it, the fact that we're dealing with a team of vampires, even though they weren't created then, like
Right.
it gives me that feeling to it.
Cool.
And like not in a necessarily negative way.
No, yeah.
But like it makes me think like, yeah, in the 90s, I could imagine Spider-Man dealing with vampires.
Yes,
Like,
absolutely.
it just strikes me as that where I'm like, yep, that
Mhm.
would happen. So I don't know, like as I was reading this, I was trying to like keep you in mind, and I'm like, Sal would not have enjoyed this, and I think that's okay.
Yeah.
But I had fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you like that sort of like one-off Spider-Man story where like Spidey gets to be like silly and whatever, and he's gonna have a moment in this where maybe you don't agree with his character, but you can blame it on magic,
right?
Theoretically, and you're like, I just want something different for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a quick read for you because it's one issue and who cares?
Exactly.
But also if you don't want to deal with vampires,
then you're not going to be on board.
Yeah.
This does remind me very much of like older. They used to do like these double-sized, like weird books that go, I want to do this, but I gotta pay the bills. So here's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like dealing with this.
Right.
And that's what this is.
That is what it strikes me as.
Fine.
At the end of this, it's like we jump ship. Like a significant thing happens for the Forgiven team.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go and we like introduce the fact that it's like, all right, now Spider-Man's going to be gone. Now we're going to deal with the X-Men. And I love it because it's like we're dealing with the X-Men. And I'm like, they've cherry picked who's on this team. And I'm like, that's brilliant because it could really take place. We'll see if it deals with Krakoa at all. That's what I'm the most interested to see, is if the next issue will mention Krakoa even remotely. Because the team is Rogue and Jean, which I'm like, they were on the X-Men when Ewing was writing it.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Or when Hickman was writing it.
When Hickman was writing it, yeah.
Right? And Wolverine's there. And then they got to bring in Jubilee.
Because that was the 90s.
Because she was a vampire. She's an expert.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is either genius in making this not tethered to any time frame other than post when she was a vampire, or they're just like, I don't care. These are the X-Men I want to see because they're the X-Men I remember and like.
Yeah.
Like that, like Steely's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But I know he's written for Marvel before.
Oh yeah, no, he knows.
You know,
he knows what's up.
I had fun with it, but it's barely a Spider-Man book.
No, yeah. But he is in the whole book.
He's in the whole book, and he has some funny things. And literally, remember like back in 2018 when Toto's Africa showed back up and like they were trying to get Weezer to do a cover of it. And like, but that song was like everywhere. Well, Spider-Man makes a reference to that. So thanks a lot, Tim Seeley,
for cementing it.
That was time. Back in my head.
Oh yeah.
Like literally, I was like, I hadn't thought about that song in years now. And all of a sudden I was like, damn it.
Oh no, it's back.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So
nice.
But I had fun.
Fair.
Admittedly speaking, I had fun with this book.
Nice. Comic Core says, hey folks, with such a varied quality on the One Bad Day books, we might make a fun GBU episode. I think there'll be back issues episodes.
Ooh,
they're too long.
Yeah, they are quite long.
And I read Batman vs. Robin #5 from Mark Waid, Mahmoud Asrar. This is, of course, like the kind of final chapter of Lazarus Planet. They're calling it the epilogue, but yeah, kind of. You know, Neza possesses Batman. Robin has to save him. They go on a like merry chase. Monkey Prince and Robin team up. Robin utilizes the Bat family. They stall Neza and as Batman long enough for the magicians to come, which includes Zatanna and other characters. After which point, Robin reveals that he's going to give because the idea is that he's been so wounded that like Neza's the only thing keeping him alive. So once they depossess Batman, Batman will die. So Robin's plan is to give his life force to allow Batman to live, But you know, at first there's protestations, but then they're like, the reality is you're too small and too young. Like there's not enough to save him. And so all of Gotham has to like be brought together, and they all give a little life force to save Batman. And like, you know, so they call, you know, everybody, and they're like, hey, everybody, you owe Batman, you know, a day of your life, please, or something like that. You won't notice, but like give a little bit of yourself to Batman, and then we'll use a spell and we'll put your life. And then everyone proclaims they're Batman, and Batman is brought back to life. And it's like, okay, whatever. And it's fine. It's like there's nothing inherently terrible about it. It's just kind of like, okay, like, oh, all right, whatever. Like I remember today we were shooting a show with Benny, and he was like complaining about it. And I was like, can it be that bad? No, and nothing about it was actually quite as silly as that. He likened it to like Peter Pan, like you know, with Tinkerbell, like clap your hands and he'll come back to life. That doesn't really happen, but like it is. Once we got to like the like everybody together, I was like, all right, like, you know, it's silly, but it's not any more silly than anything else. I wasn't
Is
upset.
it hokey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's not like it, but not intentionally. You know, it's not like, well, this is silly and dumb. It's just kind of like, this is the story. Like, this is the story you bought, you know?
Okay.
It's unapologetic.
Let's be honest. If Batman was real, Batman's real in this world for a second, right?
Right.
And he needed a day of your life, every person in this chat would be like, yeah, okay, that's fun.
Right.
Because then you'd all be like, yeah, I helped save Batman.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. I gave a day of my life to help
Well,
save
they're
Batman.
in Gotham.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's fine. There's nothing inherently terrible about it. I was just like, all right, whatever. But the real problem with it is the fact that Lazarus Planet was editorially driven, which no one's made any no one's lied about that. Right. Mark Waid has been very clear on this channel himself. He was like, yeah, with editorial there, he was like, yeah, no editorial. They told me to write this. They botched it. DC botched it hard. They screwed the pooch big time. You know it as well as I do. Don't pretend like you're fighting about this for the first time. You know, they botched it, and they botched it by selling it horribly, by publishing it wrong, by making too many things that don't matter, that have the name on it. Like, I missed it. I can tell you, I missed most of this story.
Yeah.
Because I was waiting for the real issues to come out.
Right.
Oops. And then I find out it's over.
Right.
And I was like, oh no, the things that I looked at, those were the real issues? No.
It sounds like they did of like the Darkhold. Remember when they did Marvel did the Darkhold series where it was like they had the alpha issue for Darkhold, and then you could choose to read all the other things.
Yeah, but that's not what this was.
Okay.
No. This is more like Bloodlines.
But it feels like that's how they structured it. Except when the instance with that, you didn't actually have to read the middle stuff. You could just read the alpha and the omega.
Well, that's exactly right. In this case,
you needed to.
Yeah.
But we structured it like the thing that you didn't have, like that. We used the wrong guidelines.
Yeah, they need to drop the alphas and omegas. That is enough of this.
Yeah,
I remember when they did it back in the 90s with Age of Apocalypse and all kinds of other crap.
Are you saying that we need some sort of alpha and omega sanction?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, literally that. It's awful. It's not selling. And when you make the trade, it's not going to read like that.
Yeah.
But like let's just really quick, let's comb over Lazarus.
Okay.
So the first issue, Lazarus Planet Alpha, that was Gene Lewin Young and Mark Waid worked together with Riccardo Federici. The main book was Waid and Federici. And the book looked crazy good, and it was the first issue that introduced everything. That was, of course, after they'd already set everything up with Batman versus Robin.
Okay.
Then they had another issue, Lazarus Planet Soul on Krypton. Nothing to do with the book. It was a different thing with 4 different writers and 6 different artists. Then we had Lazarus Planet We Were Once Gods. Again, had nothing to do with anything.
Right.
4 different writers. Then Lazarus Planet Legends Are Born, which had virtually nothing to do with it. 4 different writers. Then Lazarus Planet Next Evolution. Again, like these were all just tie-ins that showed you like the aftermath, the like repercussions of what's happening in Lazarus Planet. Then Lazarus Planet Dark Fate, 3 writers. Again, none of them.
But these are the issues. You said they have nothing to do with it.
They have almost nothing to do with it.
So then it is like Darkhold.
Yeah, I guess so. But these are all just these appear to be tie-ins, but aren't. By the way, four different writers. Mark Waid's writing Lazarus Planet. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 new writers, none of whom are actually part of the Lazarus Planet architect. That's the first issue. 5, 6, 7, 8 new writers on the next one. 9, 10, 11, 12 new writers on the next one. 13, 14, 15, 16 writers. And then 17, 18, 19.
20. So it's actually Dennis Culver, and then they missed a space there.
Oh, excuse me. 20 writers who were writing other things called Lazarus Planet, but have nothing to do with Lazarus Planet, until finally we get Lazarus Planet Omega from Mark Waid. This time with art by Billy Tan and Riccardo Federici. Like, no. Then it's not over. You got to pick up the 4th issue. And then they have the audacity to say that the only tie-in was actually Monkey Prince number 11. Bite me. That's not the only tie-in. What about everything else? What about the 20 writers? And that's not all. Because at the end, in the middle of the month, we're getting another 4-issue miniseries that will be dead on arrival called Lazarus Planet Revenge of the Gods.
Okay.
No. You just told me it ended. Now I'm getting 4 more Lazarus Planets? Get the hell right out of town. No thank you. Is that going to happen? But hey, if you want to see the real finale, you can pick up Monkey Prince number 12. You know, like nobody will. And it's like, what is this? And by the way, thankfully, this is not like Live or Die. This is the big one. DC put all their marbles on it. But it's like I know what's going on here. I know that the retailers are hard up.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that they are communicating to the publishers, listen, we need something big. Every year we got to get something big to get somebody in here.
So maybe the problem is that you shouldn't be letting the I don't want to say this because I love the retailers, but maybe the retailer shouldn't be the one driving the product.
Right.
Like, or driving
retailers
the line.
Are the ones who are responsible for selling the product.
Like, yeah, you sell what's there.
Yeah, but they're the pushers. The reality is, like, if you want the good shit, the manufacturer should be selling this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, DC should be like, you can't miss Lazarus Planet because of how goddamn cool and important it is. Look at this Federici art you've never seen before. Mark Waid is back, baby. And look at this crazy thing. Look at all these new status quos we're creating for all these characters. Power Girl is going to be relevant again. She's not. But like, hey, listen, like I'm going to lie to you because I'm a comic book publisher. But like, boom, 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 boom. Here's all the things. And they had like, they tried. There were a couple of teasers that came out that made no effing sense. There was a Lazarus Planet teaser that had a bunch of characters like all standing in a row. And I remember in my interview with Mark Waid, I was like, is this like a team? And he's like, no, it's not. It's more like an interpretation of like what these characters are all about and what's going on with them. And it's like, that's not really the same thing. That's not what you're selling me. Like, what do you mean? You know, like you think, like, oh man, what a neat team. It's like, it's Mercy, it's Cyborg, it's Batman, it's Martian Manhunter, it's Red Canary and John Kent. And look at how different they are. Look at what happened to them as a result of all this stuff.
Right.
I don't even know what's going to happen. I didn't even know half this. It's like that scene in The Simpsons where it's like my mother covered up half of the screen when we were trying to watch The Man Without a Face. I didn't even know any problem. Like I didn't even know half these guys were like, I didn't see Martian Manhunter in this event. I didn't see Cyborg in this. I didn't see Red Canary in this.
Oh, did you read all the things?
Hell no. But I read the ones that my keen comic book senses told me were important. So, I read. Listen, I did read the first 2 of those. The first 2 of those tie-ins. So the first 2 of those Lazarus Planet books after Lazarus Planet Alpha.
Okay.
And Power Girl was in it. And I'm like, Power Girl's not in the teaser.
Is it an event or is it just an opportunity for a bunch of creators to write short stories about a character?
That's exactly what that is. I mean, that's what they all were. No, I'm giving 20 writers a check to do something on the backs of my client base.
You know what it is? There's something wrong with that, but I guess don't but like bill it as an event then.
Right.
Like
but,
there's nothing wrong with doing something. They do it every holiday.
yeah. Yeah, I know.
They put out like an 80-page giant thing with
They
like a bunch
do.
of creators who get to write a little short story
It's
about
true.
a
Those are
character.
great. Yeah, no, those Halloween books, those
But I'm
holiday
saying,
books at the
you
end of
do
them.
that already, but you don't call it an event.
No, because those don't sell very well. So I can't like do that all the time.
But I guess you want to make an event without making an event.
Right. But like now Nightmares is coming. Or whatever.
Is it coming because of this?
No. That's irrespective of this. That's just it's the next thing. I think it's called Nightmares. But you know what I mean? Like, why would anyone buy that? Based on like what we just did with Lazarus Planet. You know what I mean? Like, why would you fool me once? Shame on you.
Because all it takes is one
really dynamite story.
Yep, or one solid like image to be out there.
I mean, that's very true. Like Spider-Man's in the toilet for me creatively, but like all it takes is one damn good pitch and I'm in.
Well, like one, like not even like image that they put out there, but like all that has to happen is someone reads the first issue of Nightmares and there's an amazing panel and they leak it. That's all it takes. They don't need to
leak it. They'll release the damn thing, or some retailer will post it on Reddit.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
But like even then, the frustrating thing is they don't represent the audience. Like those of us, the intrepid and incredible and discerning and thoughtful people in the chat right now, those people represent, unfortunately, a small fraction of the audience, because you guys are out there looking. You're like, I want to know more about this and that, and I want to talk about this with other people. The majority of the readers don't even come here. I mean, like they do come here. They don't go on Reddit. They don't go on Twitter. They don't go on Comic Vine. They don't go anywhere and talk about it. They go to their comic book store. They pick it up like they're getting a sack of groceries. They're like, and then they go home and they read it. And then they liked it or they didn't. Maybe they'll come here. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Statistically, more of them come here than they go on on Twitter.
Sure.
But like for the most part, the readers are just like, I just read them and then I buy them, which is why Spider-Man is one of the best-selling books, despite how everyone hates it. Oh, do they? Because it's still selling like crazy.
Right.
So, we're in this weird place where like Lazarus Planet is just like you botched it. And what's worse is this is editorially driven. This was the leaders coming together and going, we got it. We got an idea. We're going to get workhorse Mark Waid. He's going to make this thing happen. Okay. Because we're creative. We know what we're doing. Here, do this. This will sell. And I'll admit, like Dr. Fate helmet on Batman is a very interesting momentarily teaser image. Does that do anything? Oh no, Batman's actually unconscious for most of the event. Actually, he's near death the entire event. Batman's not in this event, but I'll sell it on the backs of this image of Batman being awesome. Oh, okay. I mean, like I'm a Batman fan. That's why I bought the event. But like my buddy here, Tom, he isn't a Batman fan, and he's going to buy this book because of the strength of that awesome teaser. He wants to see what's going on with Martian Manhunter. Well, for a $6 tie-in, you can see what happened to Martian Manhunter in this.
Well, then maybe I'll just buy just that.
Oh, well, I would rather you read all of it.
No, I don't want to do that.
Well, but you need to actually, because because my job is really riding on all
this.
Well,
see, you needed to tell me a story.
Oh yeah,
beginning, middle, and end.
I mean, there's a story kind of in there. Like the first 2 issues are, Alpha and Omega. Alpha and Omega. You're trying to get people to buy these effing things. You look at the top corner. There's a number. Oh, it's number 3. Looks like I need 2 more issues. Alpha, which one's first again?
Alpha.
I'm just saying, like, but like, well, I gotta know it'd be like if you made the numbers Roman numerals instead. Just like, I'm gonna roll the dice on my audience, not knowing, on my audience being more educated.
There have been plenty of like, Darkhold did the same. They had an Alpha and Omega issue.
I know, stupid as hell. It's a terrible idea. Don't do it.
I appreciate them thinking that we know what those are.
I appreciate the vote of confidence, and I would appreciate it better if they could sell their own effing product. Because you know what? Like I don't mind being. Look, if I'm going to sell your effing book, give me a cut.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like because if I'm going to do all the effort and you're going to do none of it, it's fine. This event actually wasn't even terrible, but it was terrible, and they didn't you didn't put any effort into it. Like, just
Does it really do anything?
No, it doesn't mean anything. That's the worst of it. It's like, change cost, it changed powers and stuff, but only
That's
for this,
important.
for
Whose
this-
powers were changed
for this event. Power Girl,
just for this event?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Mercy, your favorite characters, Mercy Graves, Power Girl, Martian Manhunter, Cyborg, like, I don't know. And by the way, Batman versus Robin, that was a story. And clearly, editorial told them, like, what if instead it's actually a volcano and it erupts and everybody's covered in it? Like, oh, okay. And even then you're like, well, isn't like Lazarus, like, isn't that a resurrection thing?
Yeah.
Shouldn't that like resurrect the dead? Wouldn't that be, it's more like a new Blackest Night? Oh, that's a good idea. We should have done that. Oops. It's just confusing as all. Anyway, it's disappointing.
That's
that
fair.
they don't know, like, it's like it's the 90s all over again. It's like when I got that little card that was like, would you like to see Rogan and Gambit get married? Would you like to see Spider-Man and Mary Jane get a divorce? Would you like to see Sabretooth as a hero? I don't know. I just read these effing things. You tell me what's going to happen in them. Don't ask me. At least they're not doing that.
Right.
At least at Lazarus Planet, they went like,
yeah.
that's pretty crazy. What do you think should happen? Once that happens, stop buying.
They won't. We
I-
won't.
What
None of us will.
What is it about them? Says tip for Alpha Omega sanction joke.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, should there be an Alpha and Omega sanction? Good call.
Thank you.
I love it. He also says Night Terrors is coming. That's right, Night Terrors. Thank you. It was called Night Terrors.
Yeah.
Good name, by the way. Like,
are you gonna check it out?
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. First of all, like, I know who's writing it. It's Josh. So, but it's about the Trinity doing their thing.
Maybe I won't read
and
it.
Dead Man.
Just in case.
And Dead Man's in it.
Hey, look at Dead Man back there.
Yeah, he's back there, but he's actually the main character.
Is that Wesley Dodds?
It is.
Sandman?
Oh, you're intrigued now.
I didn't say I was intrigued.
Yes,
I
you
just
are.
pointed it out.
Wesley Dodds Sandman is in this event. Yeah, Night Terrors.
What the heck?
I know.
The
Right?
heck you say?
The heck you say? Yeah. No, I mean, like, this looks neat, and it'll be forgivably short, as long as it comes at 1, 2, 3, 4, however many issues it is. Just number the damn thing.
Yeah,
Look at this dope fabric cover.
that's pretty cool.
Like, hang on.
I mean, we've completely removed any of the stuff that I was the most interested in. Oh, neat. When you take the photo, though, they look different. Oh, what?
What?
What's happening there?
I don't know. I need to know more. But I want to know more. But hey, remember Dawn of DC? And the DC Universe, Lazarus Planet.
Yeah.
I tripped. And I haven't even gotten to the shadowy part yet.
Well, we already know what the shadowy part is now for at least part of it.
We do, yeah. And we know the Justice League's coming back because of a misprint. Oops. But
what?
Yeah. So, this is whatever. Anyway, let's talk about some books that are coming out this week.
All right, let's do that.
Speaking of Batman, Batman 133 is coming out. I read it. It's great. I'm on DC's effing mailing list. Oh my God. And I just spent 20 minutes talking about how much they suck. So yeah, don't fumble the bag. That's all. Just saying. Look, the book's already over. It wasn't like I was telling you not to buy it.
That's true. It's done.
It's over. MP, with Alfred dead and Gordon retired, what character should make up Batman's regular sporting guys? I'm thinking Alfred and Gordon. I'm thinking he shouldn't be dead and Gordon shouldn't be retired. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, you got more than I do.
Is that it? You're done? Okay. Moon Knight number 21 is coming out this week. Ed McKay doing his thing.
Yep.
X-Men number 20 is coming out. We're still talking about the Brood.
Yeah, remember that? Brood stuff?
Brood stuff. I'm gonna read it.
Yeah.
Nightcrawler is number 2 is coming out this week. This should be issue 4 of Sins of Sinister. So if you have missed any of the other ones, you
Ken, great job selling this thing. Just pick up Nightcrawler's number 2 for issue 4 of Sins of Sinister.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I think that
You've been selling it.
No problem with this. And
No?
folk who are reading this, we're all following along because we know that we're following 3 writers here.
Yes.
So it's really easy to just do that. You see the banner, you buy the book that week.
Sinister should have a number on top of it. It tells you what part it is.
It
Just
says
say
it
part
on the inside.
on the cover.
Well, we'll see how it all like ends up like flowing together. Because right now, obviously, like Nightcrawler's just telling the Nightcrawler story.
Yes.
So keep your cool until we get to the end of Sins of Sinister, and then you can have a meltdown about it on here. That's fine too.
Yeah.
So I'll be reading that for sure. There's something else I saw.
Yeah.
I might try New Mutants Lethal Legion. I want to give it a good shake. I don't know if I'm going to stick with it necessarily. I kind of was like felt in a comfortable place of letting New Mutants go.
Yes.
But it's going to be a new team, so I thought I'd at least check out the new team there. Also, for you X23 fans, there's X23 Deadly Regenesis #1 will be coming out as well, so you could check that out if you might like that.
Predator 1 is coming out.
Yay.
Yeah. The art's... also, they're doing a weird thing. Marvel's like making 20th Century Comics, and so all their like Planet of the Apes and Predator and maybe Alien are all going to go under that banner now.
Okay.
Instead of Marvel. Clear #1 is coming out.
Wait, I thought that already came out.
It did. It came out through Comixology like a year or so ago.
Now it'll be like...
Now it'll be in
like
physical.
A print. Yes.
I have talked about the like Scott-tober books and how they're not all winners, but I really enjoyed this one.
Okay.
I have talked about it before. You know, like Clear's a good one. This will be the last time you hear me talking about it.
Okay. Why?
I don't want to get into it.
Okay.
Let's just say like Clear #1 is coming out, and it's good.
Okay, cool. Excellent.
Yeah, I thought about talking about it. I'm like,
no, you're good. You're good. I was gonna say, I know nobody's reading, or we're not necessarily reading.
We're not
Avengers,
reading Avengers,
but like that cover's very
exciting.
I don't know if it's exciting. It's eye catching, and I don't know if it's eye catching in a good way or a bad way. But there's just something about it. Seeing that tiny, I was like, cool. I can't tell if it's cool.
Oh, it's the Mephisto stuff. Yeah.
I can't tell if that's cool. But like, oh, that's what I'm looking at. That's Mephisto. I thought it was a flower.
That would have been really neat.
I thought that was...
Hey, they can still take that and use it
was a flower.
for X-Men.
I don't know why. I was just checking to see who was on the Deadly Regenesis. It's Erica Schultz and Edgar Salazar on art for that.
Okay.
Writing an art team there. Oh, and also if you're reading Scarlet Witch, you could check that out as well. #3 will be coming out this week.
That's right. That's the final issue of the series. No, I'm kidding. We had said that before because it was they only solicited 3, but no, there are more.
I thought it was 5, but I guess not.
It might be 5. We don't know. I think they build it as an ongoing, but we know that Marvel is a liar and also like doesn't really they're not interested in making ongoing series.
Yeah.
So probably
especially because they've been doing so many short ones, it would make more sense. No offense. Just
Scarlet Witch would make more sense. Yeah. I mean, what was it? Doom Patrol's only getting 6 issues. This is DC, but Doom Patrol's only getting 6 issues.
Yeah.
And will succeed based on the strength of
right
that. I forgot about this series. Yeah, that's right. Adventure of Superman, John Kent #1 from Tom Taylor and Clayton Henry. This will see John with his Lazarus Planet powers. At least that's what the cover suggests.
Yeah, it does suggest that.
He is going on. He's going away. He's leaving. He's going on a thing.
Again?
Yeah, go away, John. He's going to face against Ultraman, who's going to who tortured and kept him from having a childhood.
And discover that his child self is still there.
Yeah, it's coming. But also he's gonna meet Injustice Superman, and they're canonizing Injustice again.
Wow, really? Okay.
Yeah, and they already did that. Remember in Convergence when they all died because DC didn't think that they mattered?
My gosh, I forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah. So opening salvo to Convergence, they were like, oh yeah, and no one cares about Injustice, so let's just kill them. And then they were like, oh my god, oh no. Never mind. But yeah, this looks neat. And it promises to be a really important Dawn of DC thing. So we'll see if it happens.
Sure.
But it's yeah. You got more. You have books over here.
No, that's fine.
Those just for you.
Those I was just checking on. I was just looking at that.
All right. Here, I'll show you that Avengers cover really quick.
The one I thought was a flower.
Yeah, it's actually Mephisto.
I was like, oh, it's a flower. Or like a tree.
I can't believe he's still pushing the Mephisto thing. Just so shocked.
Listen, when you get a great impersonation of Mephisto from Sal,
that's true.
You're gonna want to keep putting.
Oh no, yeah. Avengers! I'm going to send you to hell.
That's exactly it. You can't help it. You need that.
Oh my god! Anyway, we want to thank you so much for hanging out with us, and especially to our super chatters for sponsoring today's show. I think we have more. Oops, might be.
We're not done yet then.
We're not done.
Don't leave.
We're not done.
We're here. Don't go.
For example, Mordecai says, just realized that what Danny Ketch looks like at the end of the Ghost Rider issue looks like the skeleton in the Pearl Jam Evolution music video. I believe that's to do the Evolution, but yes, it is absolutely what he looks like. It's a pilot. He wears like a visor. He's a jet pilot.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, I guess that, yeah.
If you've never seen the Do the Evolution video for Pearl Jam, by the way, it is directed, I think, by Todd McFarlane, and it's awesome. Just a bunch of neat stuff.
Oh.
It's like heavy metal. It's like the movie Heavy Metal.
I thought he did that other band one.
You mean Korn?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, he also, I believe he worked on the animated music video portion for Freak on a Leash. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he did that. Anyway, it's awesome. Both those are awesome, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Freak on a Leash is amazing.
You're just thinking about it. You're just sitting there thinking about that now. We're doing a live show, and Sal has just retreated into his brain to enjoy that for a second.
Yeah. Check out that music video. It's on YouTube. It's free. But no, it's like you took heavy metal, like the movie, animated it better, and then went 2 minutes. It's really great. Okay. Just a bunch of neat stuff that people wanted to see. They were like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if this? Oh, what about this? Like, I remember as a kid with Ben, we were in high school. We were like, it'd be an amazing music video. You're watching these Nazis, like these like stormtroopers, but you can't see like any like accoutrements, and they're like beating up people, and they're like there's like panic in the streets, and then at the end of the song they turn around and they got the American flag on their back. Whoa! That happens in the Do the Evolution music video. So it appeals to if you're 13 and you're like, I'm pretty dark. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a pretty tortured soul on my cul-de-sac. My non-divorced, both dual income parents, they instilled a sense of darkness and danger in me. That it's rare. It's a rare quality, but it can be yours, Hollywood, for a low price of $10 million. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. Thank you to our super chatters for sponsoring today's show. Thank you for Tiffany for being here and doing this. We really appreciate it. Watch twitch.tv/ComicPop or subscribe to ComicPop Plays on YouTube and watch Tiffany's VODs.
Yeah. I don't call them that.
But they are.
But I don't call them that. No one calls them
that. But you can watch Tiffany. Right now, this week is all single streams. They're all like single games.
There was a period of time where I was like, I want to play. Let's play this for a time. Let's play this for a time. Let's play this for a time.
But it is going to culminate in a 2-part stream in which Tiffany, I think, is a shark.
Oh, no.
So you do not want to miss that. So subscribe to ComicPop Plays on YouTube.
You are a shark protagonist. You are the protagonist of the
movie,
Jaws. But you're eating people.
Yeah. Man-eater, I think is the name of the game.
There's like really aggressive alligator crocodiles. I don't remember what they were. They suck the most. They're a problem. It's not the sharks.
Okay. See you next week. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Bye.
Bye.